YouTube. We're going to go on a walk right now, but let's talk. I've been wanting to get back to my more monastic videos for a while now. I'm sick of talking about all this race shit. As I've said numerous times, that's never what I've been about. I have never been a black nationalist. I have never subscribed to race realism. I think it's a bunch of loaded shit that just serves the interest of people who are really just losing in life. Because when you look at these people, they always are unattractive white guys anyway, or unattractive black guys. That's already a proof in of itself what's really behind it. But let's get back to my more monastic topics. I really need to start putting out some information on this. What is the monastic order? And what does it mean when I say build a new society? Well, it means exactly what I say. Build a new society. What is a society? It's everything you see around you. The systems that operate around you, the institutions that run the trains, that run the buses, that maintain the water system, all that shit. Build a society. Now, you might look at all that and say, well, Emperor Dion, isn't that a bit unrealistic? Yeah, I understand. There's a lot there. There's a lot there. But, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. For damn sure not. So, somebody has to at least get the ball rolling. To build something, start somewhere. Start small. And much of what I have to say about doing so, going about this, is really connected to my political beliefs. So in a previous video I talked about how neither the right nor the left really serves my political interests. What are my actual political beliefs? Well, this video is going to be pretty crucial because I'm going to explain to you my political beliefs, and it doesn't align with the right or the left on any fundamental level. So hold on, let this lady pass. Right, so my political beliefs, first of all, my political beliefs revolves around a theory known as the great man theory. So I believe fundamentally that human civilization can only be run by a few great men. So if you were to put me somewhere on the graph for political affiliation, like what would I be politically? You could call me a oligarch. Someone who believes in oligarchy. I love oligarchical systems where there's a few great men who run pretty much everything top down. That is my political leaning. As you can see, I'm already fundamentally opposed to American politics just off of that alone. I mean, maybe you could argue I'm not so much, since that's loosely how America runs anyway, but I mean explicitly so. I'm anti-American even at the baseline of like the Constitution and what was intended for American governments, you know. So that's kind of where I am politically, and that's informed a lot of how I've come up with the whole monastic order idea. Because I say with the monastic order, there can only be 5 members of a monastic order. These are 5 great men that are going to form the monastic order. So it's only within these 5 members where every lever of power is going to be. And so the purpose of the monastic order is exactly what I said, to build a new society. So those 5 members are going to build the foundation. They're going to decide the location, they're going to build the systems, and they're going to be the initial people living in it. They won't be the only ones long term, but they'll be the initial people living in it. So that is the new society from which will get built. It would be built fundamentally around 5 monastic members who form a monastic order. Now, as this goes along and it scales up, you begin to acquire people whom, you know, especially as civilization breaks down, like I do believe that society will collapse, but we can't say when it will. But what I can promise you is that before it does, a lot of things are going to stop working. A lot of things are going to stop functioning. A lot of things are just not going to go well for a lot of people, and there's going to be a lot of people looking for a way out. And as that starts to happen, there's going to be more and more people out there out of desperation for their own survival. Because here's one thing you can count on: people will survive. Whatever they got to do, whoever they got to connect with to survive, they will survive. So as people become more desperate because of this, You know, and that's something I can guarantee will happen because it's happening right now. Yeah, you will gain the ability to acquire people who come across your little society that you and your 5 members built. You know, it's not going to be much. It's not going to be anything spectacular, but it's going to be livable. It's going to be comfortable. And you're going to come across people who, through various ways of vetting and finding out that, hey, they're trustworthy, they're cool, they're chill, and they might actually be a bit of a benefit to have around. You're going to come across people like this, and you'll be able to let these people live in your little society. And these people are going to become your followers. And you're going to amass more and more followers into your new society. And you're going to start to expand that society. Now, all of this is going to be like, we're not looking for like regime change or anything like this. Or we're not looking to like get a legal mandate to declare independence as a nation, or like, because like I had some idiot in my comment section come at me like, oh bro, how are you gonna get the power to declare independence and declare your own country? No, that's not what we're trying to do, man. That is not what we're trying to do. We're forming all of this is very informal. There is no official, okay, this is the kingdom of freaking Emperor Dion, and we're going to have our own flag. I do have a flag, in case you haven't noticed, with my banners and stuff like this. I do have a flag, but all of this is very informal. It's no documents. There could be, but there's really doesn't really need to be. All of this is put together very informally. So it's an informal agreement between all 5 members, and then everybody outside of that is just a follower who's allowed to exist there. And as this is scaled up and you acquire more followers and you expand the system and you expand your network of what you've got going on, you could engage in business, you can engage in dialogue with others and here and there. Like I'd recommend, as it gets bigger, you probably do less of that because you don't want to really attract attention to yourself like that. And it's not based on race too, by the way. None of this is based on race. So who you decide to let in, it's not based on, oh, you're black or you're white or you're a negro, so we're not gonna let you in. No. It's based entirely on the content of character, merit, are they useful to the group, things of this nature. So now at the point of which you get like a decent little society going, where you've got like a network of places you exist or can be, you've got like businesses running, you've got like operations that you're engaged with as a group. As this scales up, okay, like then it's going to become obviously the important part of who gets to make decisions. Well, obviously only the 5 members of the monastic order can make decisions here, and when it comes to anything important, for sure, like as far as like things that affect the group and what we do as a group, only those 5 monastic members can make decisions like this, and they can deliberate amongst themselves how those get made. But essentially the 5 monastic members, the original people part of it, they're going to be more or less officers. They're going to be oligarchs within the organization. So there's going to be this 5-man order at the very top, and then they can make institutions beneath them of like people who run things with more authority than others, and they can make positions under them. But at the very top, there'll always be this 5-man monastic order. And I've already got many notes and theories of how institutions could be created under this 5-man monastic order. But the purpose of all this is to create a baseline, a standard template construct for, and again, I don't necessarily believe society is going to just straight collapse, but it is going to falter and things are going to stop working and people are going to get more desperate. That is happening. That is happening. So, you know, like this is to form like a standard template construct for a new society, to already have these systems in place, to already have these locations established, to already have these operations going in a cohesive group. You know, this is a standard template construct for just for the worst case scenario, pretty much. So like, let's say society does collapse. There's no more government. There's no more police answering the damn phone when you call 911. There's no more any of these services that you can rely on in the current system. Let's say that does happen. Okay, well, you already built your own society already going, and now you can be much more overt about enforcing like some sort of sovereignty as like an actual like organization, pretty much. And you can really start to bring people in under those conditions, because once the chaos sets in, people are going to flock to any type of authority that they can that's going to keep them safe. That's so this is like the overall premise of why this monastic philosophy is so powerful. And that is the functional, practical level. Like, I know I don't really get into telling the details about this so much. I know I don't really mention what is the purpose, what is the overall practical, like what does this look like in the real world, what does it look like implemented. Like, this is why all the time when I'm just loosely talking about things, I always get into these little comment section arguments, or I don't even get in arguments with people, I just ignore them most of the time. But people will come at me with, oh bro, well, how are you gonna do this, how are you gonna do that? Most of these things don't matter, because most of this is informal. The government can't tell you, oh, you can't have friends. The government can't do that, or they can't do it right now. They certainly, I don't see a scenario where they'd be able to do that in the near future, where they tell you who you can and can't be friends with, So, like, this is all informal, guys, because it has to be that way. We ain't trying to challenge the government. We ain't trying to overthrow shit. We just trying to survive, dude. We're just trying to make it to the other side of whatever the fuck is gonna go down. It's all it is. And so, and most things, like from an ideological standpoint going on these days, like for sure with what the right is currently on in 2025, that racist shit that everybody's on. Oh, race realism, bro. Like, most of that shit goes to counter to the monastic philosophy, because the monastic philosophy isn't concerned about that. The monastic philosophy is just concerned about, okay, who has the gears packing to get this operation off the ground. That's all that fucking matters. It don't matter whether you black as charcoal or white as snow. If you got the gears packing to get this going and be pretty monastic minded, that's it. We can definitely work something out here, to where we can all survive as a collective, and whoever else we acquire as followers. But this is like the practical level of what I talk about when I bring up these things. This is what I talk about when I say gold pill. This is the actionable thing that I'm mentioning when I'm talking about the monastic philosophy. What does it mean to be monastic minded? It means that you are not a fucking loser, for starters. Like, you actually are not like just some loser guy that's down bad because you can't get a woman, but you're actually out here trying to find solutions and get money and keep yourself sane and keep yourself stable and out of trouble, such that you will be useful not only to just yourself, but to other people who have also done those things, and you're able to be worthy enough to be part of this group that we're going to form. That is what it means loosely to be monastic minded. Now, if you want to add any type of spirituality on top of that, you can. The monastic philosophy is flexible. But this is loosely what I mean when I talk about the gold pill. All these various pitfalls that most young guys especially are falling down, that's not going to cut it. You better boss the fuck up. Like Coach Greg Adams said this. He was talking about this in a recent live stream of his, where he was telling people, hey man, it's time to boss up. Yeah, boss up. Boss the fuck up. Because shit's getting real out here, man. We ain't got time for you to be bitching about your dick being dry. We ain't got time for you to be blaming black people for everything. We ain't got time to hear you about how to use or ruin everything. We don't give a we just trying to survive, goddammit. And by doing so, also coming out the other side with a organization that is going to rapidly be able to take advantage of the situation that benefits us all. And not everybody, like I said, this is why I keep the whole thing small, 5 members max. We can't get everybody up in here. We ain't trying to save everybody. We definitely got to. Okay, it's a very, very small, like, you're either in or you're out. And if you ain't in, get the fuck on and don't mess with us type of deal, So we ain't here to save everybody, because everybody can't be exceptional. Everybody can't meet these standards, and everybody is not frankly trustworthy. Most people aren't actually. So this is what the nitty-gritty is, guys. And I hope this video, if there's anyone confused here, made it quite clear to you. And it's really refreshing to talk about this rather than what we have been talking about, because like I said, I don't really like to talk about the fuck you looking at. I don't really like to talk about the political shit, really. Like I pay attention to it, obviously. I pay attention to it, but you know, it's not really anything more than, okay, how much time do we have to make this happen? How much time do we have to get this going? How much time do we have left to where we can expect the system to run the way that we've always known it to, so that we can adjust our plans accordingly? You know, that's all the political landscape really matters to us, really. Anywhere past there, I don't care. I just want to survive and thrive. Okay? And you know, I've had to take some liberties to kind of change what monastic even means, because like the original definition of a monastic has to do with like religious organizations and Christianity in particular, and like these type of deals where you don't get no bitch and you just sitting there praying all day. No, that's obviously not going to cut it in the 21st century going forward. That's not. We gotta change the definition here. We gotta co-opt this and modernize it and bring it into the future, because this is like the only way in which we're going to be able to create something that's going to actually survive the current world and the current technology. You see, like you can't have something staying the same all the time. You know, it's like the same way, like if ancient Rome was still alive today, like if ancient Rome was still existing today, it would be so hopelessly outdated. It would be comically outdated if Rome was still an empire today. That's why things have to constantly update themselves and adjust themselves to the current landscape. You know, so I kind of see my thing is also updating the definition of monastic too, such that it's actually going to be feasible and actually serve its original purpose and what it originally did back in those days, you know. So anyways, I guess I'll cut it short here and stop rambling. This has been Emperor Dion the Lion, and this is a nice refreshing talk. I'll see you guys later, and peace.